Mr. Speaker, this is a need that is not a need of today. Indeed, it's a need of yesterday, and it's indeed of yesteryears. And when this part of the House, Mr. Speaker, on countless occasions, attempted to bring our colleagues in the NDC along for us to take a proper look at investing into our Ghana Armed Forces, it became a taboo. It became a taboo which propaganda was waged by NDC MPs. It became a taboo in this country for one to even suggest befitting platforms for our Air Force. Mr. Speaker, enough of the politics. I believe that this is a new dawn and a time that has come that an opposition side of Parliament is doing the patriotic thing of supporting what is good for the state and what is good for the Ghana Armed Forces. This, the hands that must capture. MPP and the commitment of the MPP in retooling our Ghana Armed Forces way back 2008 when President Kufuor saw the need to be able to equip our Air Force with modernized fleets and even for a long-haul aircraft, a wider body aircraft, and for a short-haul aircraft to be procured. A similar agreement was submitted before this very House. The same agreement was approved. Subsequent to that, $38 million was paid as part payment for the acquisition of 2 aircraft, a Falcon and a wider body aircraft. Because the government of the day lost power in 2008, the new government took over and failed to see through to that commitment. And as a matter of fact, only committed to one, which is the Falcon which we are talking about today. If the government of the day, the opposition at the time, had been committed as this side is, we would have had 2 aircrafts, one long haul and one short haul. And today there would not be a need to have the conversation we are going to have. Mr. Speaker, this House again is not opposed. Even before the sad August 6th disaster, which was a national tragedy, we had advanced the argument that the fleet of the Ghana Armed Forces are aging. There's a need for us to revamp them and replace them. Let's invest in it. We had members of NDC, members of Parliament, sitting on various platforms, sending and signaling their warning and caution that even if the Falcon we are talking about, which is an aircraft belonging to the military, which is the executive platform for travels by the president, has, my good brother, Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Ablakwa, said that even if one engine is faulty, the remaining engines are fit to fly the president. But today we will support him. So in priority, so that he can say, we want to put it on record that this agreement is taking into consideration key recommendations made by the helicopter crash report, which experts advised and recommended that in any event that modern avionics features, we ensured by due diligence that the 4 helicopters that are going to be procured from Airbus meet the requirements by Captain Fujo and his team. Mr. Speaker, we also did further checks, and we ascertained that indeed the performance guarantee that is required to ensure the sustenance of these aircraft are not in doubt. But we would want to urge the acting Minister for Defense, who must soon give way for a substantive Minister for Defense. The acting Minister for Defense, who must soon give way for a substantive Minister for Defense, to be particular about following up. to be particular about every agreement that we have insisted upon, because this agreement, as we have it, was negotiated and scrutinized in the best interest of the Ghanaian taxpayer by the Committee on Defense and Interior. Mr. Speaker, it is interesting to know that we are going to have our pilots who are going to be assigned to the various platforms for training and to ensure that, as formidable as they are, as competent as they are, they also refresh their competencies with these key and specific platforms. Mr. Speaker, the Falcon is not new to this country, because the current Falcon 900EX, which we have, which in the words of our friends from the NDC, current Falcon 900EX, which we have, which in the words of our friends from the NDC is in pristine condition, and in their words, a few months ago, was one of the best in Africa, requiring no replacement, is the same and similar Falcon contained in this agreement. Mr. Speaker, we support this in no doubt, but one would have expected that if a time had come for us to purchase aircraft for the Air Force, we need to purchase a long-haul aircraft, an aircraft that can minimum carry about 40 to 70 passengers, so that when the president is traveling, his key ministers and aides and accompanying investors will be able to all find space on the same aircraft. But they criticize the short haul, and they are going to purchase a short haul. They criticize a short haul flight, and a short haul flight is what they are going to also purchase. Mr. Speaker, when you come to the budget statement and the economic policy as was presented by my good friend and neighbor, Honorable Dr. Kasiel Atuforsen, page 136, paragraph 1091, in the words of the Finance Minister, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, "The Ghana Air Force will be retooled beginning 2026. The government of Ghana will begin the procurement processes for the acquisition of 4 modern helicopters, 1 long-range and 1 medium-range aircraft." Mr. Speaker, what is contained in this agreement is the short range. We want to hold the minister to account that his words are documented in the budget and captured in Hansard. We would ensure that we exercise oversight to ensure that the commitment made to purchase 1 long-haul aircraft and 1 short-haul aircraft are not jettisoned. Mr. Speaker, is it not surprising that our side today are not opposing 2 aircraft purchases? Is it not patriotic that an opposition is supporting the purchase of 4 helicopters and 2 aircrafts? We haven't opposed it. It is because the safety of our men in uniform is very important. The safety of our president is key to this state. You did politics with presidential aircraft. You did politics with the fleet of the Air Force. But we, in the tree, to wait. If you were wrong and unpatriotic yesterday, we in opposition today will take the moral high ground. We'll do what is right for our men and do what is right for our state. But you must ensure that you go ahead in the 2026 budget, maybe by the budget review, you need to create space to accommodate the long haul. Because that is the vision of President Kufuor way back in 2008. It is not a new vision. It is a vision that you took over and jettisoned. President Kufuor envisioned and signed an agreement for 1 short-haul aircraft and one long-haul aircraft. For 8 years, you resisted us. You made it a taboo to even discuss. But today, we are supporting you. Let us do what is right for our country. But in so doing, I have a recommendation, Mr. Speaker, that considering the vast opportunities we have in the Air Force sector, particularly in safeguarding our extractive assets, we have tallow, we have ENI, FPSOs, we have our gold, we have many of the oil deposits and assets, and these are paying huge sums of dollars, millions of them every month, to foreign aviation companies. If we resource our Air Force, they are more than enough and they are more competent. They have more gravitas to be able to undertake these services to generate IGF. This IGF, if we take it away from the foreign aviation companies, will even pay for the aircraft by itself. They have demonstrated it before. They were able to deploy a similar arrangement to purchase 2 ships, which are paying for themselves. So we must encourage the minister that the best course of action, in addition to what we are supporting, so that from the purse of the public today we are using to acquire these aircraft, let's encourage such innovative arrangements, such that we can buy as many as 10 aircraft or even more to augment on the assets of our Air Force, such that we'll continue to hold high the flag, continue to remain one of the most formidable in the sub-region. But to conclude, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the Chief of Defense Staff and the Military High Command for the innovation that they have put into the management of the military in enhancing their might, their air capabilities. They have invented homemade drones, which will come and add up to our helicopters and the Falcon we are going to purchase to beef up our air capabilities. That invention and innovation is worth commending. But to signal, Mr. Speaker, never again must politicians politicize retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces. Never again must politicians play the ostrich and oppose what is right for our country and wait for disaster to strike before we accept the technical reports, same reports given by the same soldiers 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, indicating aging fleet. You said no, the fleets were not aging, they were new. Today, you are saying that the fleets are aging. There is so much more that for the security sensitivities, I will not mention here. But when the committee of the whole is given that opportunity by the Speaker, a lot of things must be said, so that our colleagues on the other side will repent from their sins of politicizing retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces. This agreement must be a turnaround, and it must be a cure to the disease of the politician, that never again must we politicize the safety of our soldiers, never again must we politicize the safety of our president. But we are happy. By 3 years' time, it is expected that the Falcon will arrive. And around the same time, it is expected that the 4 helicopters will also arrive to enhance the battle readiness of our armed forces. And by which time, our colleagues will be on this side, and we will be on the right-hand side of the Speaker, and we will ensure we'll continue the investment into the security sector. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, we unreservedly support the retooling of our Ghana Armed Forces. I thank you.
Honourable members, I think I'll proceed on the 2 motions, item 18 and 21. Those in favor of the adoption of those motions, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Motions numbered 18 at page 8 of the order paper and 21 at page 11 of the order paper are hereby adopted. Honourable members, we have made tremendous progress in our democratic development. some time ago, it wasn't easy to have access to the Ghana Armed Forces to assess the armory and equipment they were purchasing. I'm happy to hear from both of you, both sides of the House, that now that access is available and you'll be able to go through it to make sure that what is being acquired is in the national interest. We'll try to progress on this and to make sure that there are no dark corners anywhere in our governance system, and that we have civilian control of the security forces in the country. That is what democracy is about. When you hide anything, it tends to haunt you. When you throw light on it, then you diffuse it. And so I want to thank the committee members and members for doing a good job, and also add my voice in thanking the Ghana Armed Forces for opening up to the scrutiny of Parliament. We thank you all. May we now take the resolutions. Resolution 19 and 22, moved together by the Minister for Defense.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that resolutions advertised as item 19 and 22 be taken now. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion. The resolution, sorry.
Motion for the adoption of the two resolutions moved and seconded. I proceed to put a question, or you want to say a word? So I put the question. And the question is that the resolutions numbered 19 and 20 on the order paper addendum 2 be adopted. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The two resolutions are accordingly adopted by the House.